Now today we start with the next topic, that is wireless connectivity to Arduino related to the electronic skill development. Now we have to cover these all points related to the Arduino. So first of all, what is Arduino? Then invention of Arduino. Third point, function of Arduino. Programming language for Arduino. Types of Arduino. Features of Arduino. And last one, detailing of Arduino board. Okay. So first of all, we talk about what is Arduino. An Arduino is actually a microcontroller based kit which can be either used directly by purchasing from vendor or can be made at home using components owing to its open source hardware feature. It is basically used in communication, in controlling or operating many devices. It was founded by Massimo Benzi and David in 2005. Then next, what is the function of Arduino? Arduino consists of both a physical programmable circuit board and a piece of software, or we can say that IDE. IDE stands for Integrated Development Environment, that runs on your computer, used to write and upload computer code to the physical board. This is the function of Arduino. The next one, which programming language is used? Arduino code is written in C++ with an addition of special method and function, which is mentioned in C++ as human readable programming language. When you create a sketch, we can say that the name given to Arduino code files, it is processed and compiled to machine language. This is the information regarding the language. Okay. After that, you have to discuss about what are the types of Arduino. So see this table. There are 4 types of Arduino. First one, Arduino Uno. Processor used for Arduino Uno is 16 megahertz at Mega 328. Then next one, it's analogy of input output. It is having 6 input, 0 output. Then Arduino Duo, 84 megahertz, 1891 SAM3X8E, and analogy related to the input output, 12 input, 2 output pin in Arduino Mega, which is 16 megahertz at Mega 2560, and its analogy of input output, 16 input, 0 output. Then Arduino Leonardo, which is of which processor is related to this one, 16 megahertz at Mega 32U4, and input, there are 12 input pins and 0 output pins. So this is regarding the types of Arduino. Okay, so these are the key features related to the Arduino. First of all, operating voltage is 5 volt and recommended input voltage will range from 7 volt to 12 volt. Input voltage range from 6 volt to 20 volt. Digital input output pins are 14 pins, analog input pins are 6. Then DC current for each input output pin is 40 milliampere. DC current for 3.3 volt pin is 50 milliampere. Flash memory is 32 KB. Okay. So this is regarding the features. Next, we will discuss about details regarding the Arduino board. So this is the detailed diagram of Arduino Uno board. The major components of Arduino Uno board are as follows: USB connector, power port, microcontroller, analog input pins, digital pins, reset switch, crystal oscillator, USB interface chip, and transmitter receiver LEDs. So let us discuss one by one. If you observe here, that particular portion is called as of this Arduino Uno board is called as USB port. USB port is used to load a program from the Arduino IDE into Arduino board. The board can also be powered through this port. Next, that particular part is called of this Arduino Uno board is called as power port. The Arduino board can be powered through an AC to DC adapter or a battery. The power source can be connected by plugging a 2.1 mm center positive plug into the power jack of the board. Next one is the 2.1 mm center positive plug. The Arduino Uno board operates at a voltage of 5 volts, but it can be withstand a maximum voltage of 20 volts. If the board is supplied with a higher voltage, there is a voltage regulator. It sits between the power port and the USB connector that protect the board from burning out. Then next we move towards the microcontroller. Here that particular Arduino Uno board uses the Atmega 328P microcontroller. It is the most prominent black rectangular chip with 28 pins. The microcontroller used on Uno board is Atmega 32P by Atmel. Atmega 32B has following components. First one, flash memory of 32 KB. The program loaded from the Arduino IDE is stored here. RAM of 2 KB. It is the runtime memory. In CPU, it controls everything that goes on within the device. It fetches the program instruction from flash memory and runs them with the help of RAM. And one more component is there, electrical erasable programmable read-only memory, that is called as EEPROM of 1 KB. This is a type of non-volatile memory and it keeps the data even after device restart or reset. Atmega 328P is pre-programmed with boot adapter. This allows you to directly upload a new Arduino program into the device without using any external hardware programming, making with Arduino board, which is easy to use. Next one, if you observe this is the analog input pins. The Arduino Uno board has 6 analog input pins labeled as analog 0 to 5. That is, we can say that here is A0, A1, A2, A3, A4 and A5. These pins can be read the signal from analog sensors like a temperature sensor, and it converted into a digital value so that system understand. These pins just measure the voltage and not the current because they have very high internal resistance. Hence, only small amount of current flows through these pins. Although these pins are labeled analog and are analog input by default, these pins can also be used for digital input or output. Okay, next, this is the digital pins. There are 14 digital pins. We can say that it's a digital value from 0 to 13. These pins can be used as either input or output pins. When used as output, this pin acts as a power supply source for the component connected them. When used as a input pins, they read the signal from the component connected to them. When digital pins are used as output pins, they supply 40 milliampere of current at 5 volts. It is more than enough to light an LED. Some of the digital pins are labeled with this sign symbol next to the pin number 3, 5, 6, 9, 10 and 11. These pins act as a normal digital pins but can also be used for pulse width modulation which simulate analog output like fading an LED in and out. Okay. Next important component related to the Arduino, that is a reset switch. Here this is the reset switch. When this switch is clicked, it sends a logical pulse to reset pins of the microcontroller and now runs the program again from the start. This can be very useful if your code does not repeat, but you want to test it multiple times. The next one, crystal oscillator. This is the crystal oscillator. This is a quartz crystal oscillator which ticks 16 million times a second. On each tick, the microcontroller performs one operation, for example, addition, subtraction, etc. The next one, this is the USB interface chip. It converts signal in the USB level to level that an Arduino Uno board understands. The next important components, that is transmitter and receiver LEDs. Now TX stands for transmit, RX stands for receive. These are indicators LED which blink whenever the Uno board is transmitting or receiving the data. Now that you have explored the Arduino Uno board, you have started your journey towards building your first IoT prototype. In the next article, we will discuss about the how the interfacing is done with the help of Wi-Fi module. Thank you.